eliminate sentient rats in this XCOM-like indie, Shardpunk, Verminfall. In a world where humanity has been waging a war against vermin, we have lost. Now you, 2 human survivors, and an automaton must fight to reach the capital, where you'll deliver a potentially world-saving payload. But first, you've gotta make it there. Shardpunk Verminfall is a turn-based tactical strategy game where you position your team around various forms of cover and advance to reach the bunker at the end of the map, all while defeating enemy combatants and looting along the way. You start off with 4 humans to choose for your team, but as you progress, you'll be able to unlock more survivors to shake up your playstyle. Besides your 3 humans, you'll have an automaton joining your team. You'll only start off with 1, but you'll be able to unlock 2 more later on. Each member of your team has unique abilities that range from a katana for close-range combat, a pep talk to lower stress, and military-like scrounging for goods in this post-apocalyptic world, to name a few. Controlling these characters is easy and simple with either keyboard or controller, although I did opt for a keyboard later on for a greater sense of movement control. Your characters each start off with 2 action points or AP points, and most actions take up at least 1. You'll need to balance how far you move up, dash, reloading your weapon, setting up for Overwatch, healing, and all with just those 2 AP points per turn. You can spread out to tackle enemies and objectives across the map, to an extent. Stray too far, and you might reveal more vermin waiting nearby, potentially leaving a teammate exposed to attack. A unique twist in this game is that the automaton must survive and reach the bunker or it's immediate game over, and that's for every mission in the game. That's because your automaton holds the world-saving payload within it, and the entire premise of this trip is to deliver the goods to the capital. However, never forget that it is vulnerable, so don't get greedy and try to loot with the automaton instead of exiting through the bunker. Learn from my mistakes. Now, you might be feeling a bit distressed hearing this and worry that this game is just one big escort mission, and I'm happy to report that this is not the case. While your automaton has no guns to shoot the rats with, it does have many other abilities to support your team and protect itself. The standard abilities it comes with are hunkering down to avoid damage and supporting your teammates by increasing their accuracy and decreasing their need to reload. On top of that, your automaton can search areas only it can access that have integral loot, like upgrade parts or fusion cores. Upgrade parts are exactly what they sound like, and can be used to expand or improve upon the abilities of your teammates. I found upgrading accuracy or damage to be especially useful for the human team members, and then upgrading your automaton to drop stun grenades helped me in a ton of tight situations. Fusion cores are used to revive teammates or automatons if they've been downed, breach bunker doors immediately versus the slow 5-turn breach without it, and as a widespread attack. But these fusion cores are hard to come by, so you need to think carefully about how you use them. I ended up saving them to immediately open bunker doors on maps instead, especially if I chose missions that had higher risk and higher reward. The final gameplay elements that I want to discuss is the RPG, survival, and resource management side of the game. Once you enter the bunker, you have 8 AP points to use and many options on how to use them. You can heal your characters, which uses both AP points and healing items that you also distribute to your team before each mission. You can do a stress heal, because stress is also a factor to consider in this game, a la Darkest Dungeon. If your teammates' stress gets too high, they can develop quirks and traits like panicking, which actually worked in my favor in one playthrough. Thankfully, after the stress maxes out, it goes back to 0, so it's not as difficult to manage as it first appears. The bunker is also the only place you can upgrade your team, and one lovely feature is the ability to take back these upgrades and place them elsewhere. That feature saved my butt so many times, since after a mission, I would often realize an upgrade I selected was not really suitable to my goals, and it cost me nothing to switch. Finally, once you've used up all your AP points in the bunker, you'll distribute food and supplies to the 3 humans, they'll all heal for 1 point, and off you go to your next mission. Personally, I really enjoyed this game, but make no mistake, this is not an easy game, and the devs warn you at the start. There are options to play it in easy or hard mode, but I opted for normal to get a taste for what the typical experience might be. I also really enjoyed the pixel art, which is moody and atmospheric, while still clearly defining everything you're looking at. It kind of reminded me of Gods Will Be Watching in its visual design, which is a title I adored but never completed. The music is equally well made and engaging, with tense tunes accompanying the heart-thumping gameplay as you cross your fingers that the shot will hit and take out the vermin before it gets to you. However, one critique I would levy at the game, albeit a small one, is polishing up some of the visual design. The menus in various screens, especially at the start, look fairly drag and uninspired, with plain black background and a text box, a somewhat hard to read font, together tiring out my already exhausted old lady eyes. And as a side note, I'm not a fan of the name. Shardpunk sounds too much like something else, if you're childish like me. Hehehe. This minor quip aside, I had a great time playing Shardpunk Verminfall, even after dying many, many times. It's got that great XCOM itch to it, like a chessboard you need to arrange and rearrange constantly as you deal with new enemies emerging on the map. If you're a fan of turn-based combat, don't mind some unforgiving gameplay on the normal mode, and love yourself some pixel art, I think Shardpunk Verminfall is a title to check out.